In a shocking act caught on camera, two masked individuals are seen setting fire to a mosque in southern England, while people were still inside. The footage, now circulating across social media, has reignited national debate over hate crimes, extremism, and whether British authorities are truly doing enough to protect religious communities. Tonight, we're not chasing outrage. We're chasing truth, what actually happened, how officials are responding, and what this event reveals about deeper tensions simmering beneath the surface of British society. This is Outsider's Take. The attack took place late Saturday night in Peacehaven, a quiet town on England's southern coast. CCTV footage shows two masked figures approaching the entrance of the Peacehaven Islamic Cultural Center, pouring liquid around the doors, and then setting it ablaze. Inside, several people were present, including the mosque's chairman, who escaped just moments before the flames spread. No injuries were reported, but the building's entrance and a nearby car were severely damaged. By early morning, Sussex police had launched a full investigation, naming it Operation Spay. A 46-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of arson with intent to endanger life. Authorities say they're treating the incident as a possible hate crime, though not, at this stage, as terrorism. The question everyone's asking now is this: was it an isolated act, or part of a growing pattern of religiously motivated violence? The evidence so far is damning. Surveillance video, confirmed authentic by police, clearly shows two masked suspects. Investigators believe they used an accelerant, possibly gasoline, before igniting the fire. Forensics teams have gathered samples from the site, and police are urging the public to share any CCTV, dashcam, or phone footage that might identify the attackers. Authorities have also noted that this attack comes just days after another religiously charged incident, a knife attack on a synagogue in Manchester, which left two people dead and is being treated as a terrorist act. That timing is no coincidence. It has raised fears of copycat crimes or retaliatory violence between extremist fringes. For now, however, Sussex police insist there's no verified link between the two events. National leaders have condemned the Peacehaven attack. Home Secretary Yvette Cooper called it utterly unacceptable, pledging full accountability. Muslim Council of Britain officials described it as a chilling sign of emboldened hate. But as statements pour in, resonate so powerfully, we have to look beyond the flames, because this isn't just about one mosque, it's about trust, security, and perception. Across the UK, reports of hate crimes targeting Muslims have risen sharply in recent years, often spiking after international conflicts or domestic terror incidents. Government figures show that over 40% of all recorded religious hate crimes in England and Wales now target Muslims. Critics argue that while authorities respond after each attack, preventative action is still lagging behind. Mosques often rely on voluntary patrols and community watch groups, rather than consistent government funding for protection. Unlike synagogues, which benefit from a long-established national security partnership, that disparity has quietly fueled frustration in Muslim communities. They see repeated calls for calm, but few structural changes that prevent such attacks before they happen. On the other hand, some observers warn against politicizing the tragedy too quickly. They argue that labeling every violent act as hate-motivated without full evidence risks deepening division, and that law enforcement should follow proof, not pressure. Both points are valid. The video evidence shows intent, deliberate, organized, and dangerous, but motive is still unclear until charges are formally brought. Labeling it as terrorism or religious extremism would be premature. Still, the optics are hard to ignore. Two masked men targeting a mosque at night, knowing people were inside. That imagery alone has already embedded itself into the public consciousness. And in the age of social media, where outrage moves faster than evidence, perception often becomes its own form of truth, politically. This case may also test the new Labour government's handling of hate crimes and community safety. If the response appears slow or dismissive, critics will seize on it as proof that Britain's unity rhetoric is just that, rhetoric. Meanwhile, right-wing media outlets are already pointing to this attack as evidence that Britain's cultural tensions are reaching a breaking point. Neither narrative tells the full story, because the real story isn't just about two arsonists. It's about what happens when fear replaces coexistence, and when institutions fail to protect those most at risk. So, what does this attack tell us? It tells us that hate, in any form, doesn't need a majority to thrive. It only needs space. Space created by political indifference, by weak enforcement, and by the illusion that it won't happen here. For now, one man sits in custody, and a community rebuilds what was burned. But the deeper question remains: will this be treated as a wake-up call or another 48-hour headline? Britain's promise of tolerance has always been its moral backbone. But tolerance means little without accountability, and accountability begins not with outrage, but with truth. This has been Outsider's Take, where we don't chase sides, we chase facts. Subscribe for more truth-based analysis.